Like we mentioned last week, a sigh of relief can be breathed in by our competitors in Ladder 2 because we have no SK Gaming, no free agents, and no AC Milan clash in Ladder 2. However, having said that, our current top 3 in the leaderboard are steamrolling ahead, Lethal.
Yeah, not too much of a surprise there. Those last 3 teams you mentioned, very good tier 1 teams, not surprised they're already through. And let's talk a little bit about, some of these top teams here. Now, I'm talking a little bit about Na'Vi in particular. Now, the last couple of weeks, they've made some huge improvements. MMA and the boys have been working so hard, putting so much time into the game. And I've noticed in the competitive scene in general, they've made a huge impact and detriment in terms of what they want to do, trying to push into that tier 1 bracket of teams. But T-Drink is also a very solid team. I'm not surprised in the slightest, but those two are at the top of the leaderboard, even by quite a considerable margin.
But Diamond EU sitting in 3rd as well. But one of the things that is actually a little bit of a surprise, I do have to say myself, is that with a record of 5-4 currently is Blood Diamond Russia. They are slightly lower down in the leaderboard. Now, they played so well. There you go. They're 12th right there on the leaderboard. Okay, so they've been playing so well in Ladder 1. Do you think that it's potentially got complacent or maybe just underestimated their opponents from Ladder 1?
Maybe because of the meta change, because, the patch only was released a few days ago. There's been a few changes, but I don't think it's just because of that. It could be the fact that they're getting counter-comped, maybe due to the fact that, they've been laddering more than actually been screaming. There's a lot of areas which could affect their gameplay in many ways. But even then, though, look at all these top teams. You also Spain, Bunker, OG, Esports, Blood Diamond Russia, even Reply Totem. I'm surprised some of these top teams are actually in 13th. I think it just shows more the fact that how competitive this leaderboard has been over the last few weeks.
And you've got Up Purple, who are just holding on to that 9th position as well, that final position that will get you into the play-ins after the 4 weeks of being on this ladder. So it's going to be very exciting. We might be seeing some of their footage from this week, potentially. You're going to have to hold on, because first up, we have Blood Diamond Russia versus Noble Elite, Lethal.
Yeah, pretty standard bounty game here, as the Blue Star has been picked up on the red side, but the only problem is the fact that they're so massively ahead, 9-0. And Melnie's just been looking to, you can see with the Mortis as well. The whole point of the Mortis is trying to clean up any kills which damage has been done by the tick or the sprout. So just biding his time, just hiding away, just to see if the side of Blood Diamond Russia do push up. This Noble Elite squad still very good. They've been doing very well in the last couple of weeks as well. Not as good as Na'Vi, but good nonetheless. 11-0 now, but still plenty of time to come back in this bounty game, as already you can see that these engines trying to back off with that tick, and now you with the Brock just looking to push up ever so slightly, and Brock has been used a lot more in this meta over the last week.
Just pushed up a little bit too far, and Dizon managed to take him down, and it's just 13-3 right now. Sheer dominance from Noble Elite, really just not letting Blood Diamond Russia pile on the pressure as they typically do. So Noble Elite are actually more so being the aggressor, and they don't need to right now. They're sitting at 18 stars now. There you go. What a great knock. I think Mortis is doing extremely well up there on that top left of your screen right now. But Noble Elite, they can track back a little bit if they need to with 17 seconds left on the clock. They've even got the tiebreaker start as well, so they can just chill, and it's going to force the push for Blood Diamond Russia.
Yeah, Melnie with that Mortis has done so much work and got so many kills and so much damage in order to make things matters even worse, and this is the perfect timing for him. He's going for that 1v2 as he cleans that one, trying to take down Cube as well, and the process doesn't, but let's be honest, Banks, the damage has already been done, 24-7, as we are going to switch to Ball and see if the game mode change will make any difference into Blood Diamond Russia's gameplay.
Exactly, it just seems, I mean, even looking at the beginning of this Brawl Ball, Blood Diamond Russia are just on the back foot already, yet again. Andrew dropping down the spikes, perfect usage for this kind of gameplay as well, gets dropped, but Dizon manages to pick it up and slot that first goal. It's just, Blood Diamond Russia feel like they can't progress as a unit right now. I don't know if it's the comp that they're not used to, maybe they're adapting to the patch like you've already mentioned, but they're just not, they're typically the aggressor. Kagamu is normally right up in his opponent's faces, and look, he's tracking all the way back. So I don't know, I'm not really sure. Maybe it's the fact that he's chosen to use Carl. Maybe it's just slightly different brawler usage from him. But yeah, it just seems to be a bit slower from Blood Diamond right now.
Yeah, Blood Diamond Russia is one of the strongest CIS teams in their region, probably in the top 3. And, against the rest of Europe, it's a little bit of a struggle here and there, depending on who they're playing against. But yeah, it could be a little bit to do with the patch, but also depends on the compositions they're actually playing against. Now, as you can see, Laoyu's just looking to push up, but also Noble Elite are very strong teams. So I'm not too surprised surprised that this is going to be a more evenly matched team compared to what we've seen in that previous game. But so far, Kagemu has been taken down. Laoyu looking to see if he can try and trade, but he can't. Absolutely not, as Andre actually didn't really take any damage in the slightest, looking to push all the way down south. Keeping that ball in the corner just to waste a bit of time, because as you know, they're already up 1-0, so if they do get team wiped, it's fine. They'll take a bit more time to grab that ball and push upwards, but Laoyu can't do anything. He's using the map geometry well, but he cannot push up, as Laoyu has taken so much from Andre Melny on the left side as well. Cube has to push in over. It's only 15 seconds, but if they want to tie things up, they want to need to make a statement now, or else it's all but over. But with 10 seconds left here, bang, you can see Kagemu trying to push in that left lane. Both Melny and DZen is still trying to push him back, but Melny took down Cube around the very last few seconds, and then nothing could have done. Just got out damaged. Map presence was just way too good, and Noble Elite still looking pretty good here.
Yeah, extremely dominant. But here is the Blood Diamond Rusher that we know and love. Look, taking the aggressive position right here. They've switched it up a bit. They got Surge on the field for Laoyu. And so he can basically try and make some plays, because they haven't really been aggressive. I mean, is this... Am I seeing... No, that is not Piper on the left. I was assuming that Kagemu was playing Piper. But we've got a pretty aggressive first start by Blood Diamond Rusher here. But... Oh, Melny nearly puts it in the back of his own net, Lethal.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks a little bit similar to Piper, which is, I think, Piper with the ponytail. That's how you can normally tell the difference if it's not for the skin. But Cube has taken down Melny, so good stuff from Blood Diamond Russia. As a made to take down two, this is their time to try and push in, take down Andre, and then actually be able to push in further. Good stuff from him, good pass and good shot. 120 HP bangs, as now the restart and the kickoff begins. Normally, Blood Diamond Russia is making a very good comeback here, as Cube managed to get the ball. He's going to try and pass it to Laoyu if he can, but Laoyu's got, you know, enough on his plate. He's going to push on through. Must have take down one. Also gets to take down two by Kagemu. Looking to pass it through. Great way to pass that and great way to finish that off. Good response there from Blood Diamond Russia.
Amazing response. I mean, Surge, Laoyu managing to play the ball to himself, teleport forward, and then slot the ball. I mean, one-man team right there. A one-man army, as you would say. Blood Diamond Russia ended up winning that war, but an incredible use of each brawler from each week. A lot of variety being shown. But next up, we've got Galaxy Jupiter going up against Up Purple. Now, Galaxy Jupiter sitting in 8th and Up Purple at 9th, so both at the bottom of that play-ins bracket. So really important points to be made here, Lethal.
And it has done indeed, as now we're just going to see a little bit more of a stale pace here. It's probably going to be a stalemate situation because the map is so open. It's about a matter of who can get better range, who can get more damage. As I say that though, Tiggs actually took down Detox straight away, and they have the blue star. So, of course, if things do tie up and they've got the blue star, they will get the W. As Tom now looking to push up with that Brock and Detox on that tick. Just keeping his distance, but also trying to get Zatax actually to back away and get the entire team to back away. But this is the perfect chance for Galaxy Jupiter. Just need to keep that passive setup, keep that structure, and be prepared for the push coming up in the next 40 seconds.
Yeah, like you said, the map is so open that all they need to do is secure the tiebreaker star, maybe get 1 or 2 drops, and then just fall back, and then just use Tick and Sprout to just throw the mines out and just keep them at bay, not let them make a hard push. They're going to be forced to make a hard push towards the end of the map. However, if they don't need to right at the beginning, then Galaxy Jupiter can just sit back and just try and prepare for that ultimate push that is going to happen towards the end of the map.
Yeah, 15 seconds left. This is the push we're talking about. It's normally a stalemate situation until this does happen, but with 10 seconds left, Tom's already taken way too much damage, and so has Detox. There's no way they're able to push this successfully, but they're going to give it a go anyway. It's Tom again taking a huge amount, looking to go to that right lane, does not do it in time. And the delay from the side of Galaxy Jupiter was just way too strong. They kept up the charge perfectly well. But let's see what's going to happen in this second game. It could make a difference, and the blue star does come in early for Galaxy Jupiter as they pushed in considerably. And we're going to see if it's going to be a similar situation where they will wait for the last few seconds. No kills yet, as you can see, Banks, which is a little bit of a surprise, but at the same time, not really any team or any players actually been able to take advantage of a window of opportunity.
Yeah, difficult map to really assert your dominance in, considering it's just so passive. You're going to have to use the brawlers that have a huge amount of range, so, you know, like your Tick, Sprout, and it's just really difficult to win. It's Piper now at the top. There she is. There's Piper. She's got that distance, but again, there's so much coverage. Piper's prediction of where she needs to shoot in order to basically, you know, capitalize on where you're going to be is really difficult. So they've actually managed to push up a little bit now. Up Purple are really getting in their face, but just unsuccessfully because Zatax is just too good as Tick. Now pushing into Brawl Ball, Lethal.
Here we go. Now OPE needs to do some serious work with that Piper. And some of the boxes will be used as debris to kind of cover from OPE. And we'll see what he can do here. Good shots there from OPE with that Piper. This is exactly what he needs to do. He's got the range, just needs to abuse it as much as he can. Good predictive socks for that projectile. And now he's going to back all the way towards Zatax and Teeks just to recover just that little bit more, as Tom now hasn't really got much cover as before. Only got that one crate, and he's trying to do everything he can to recover and try and see if he can retaliate straight after. But not really much of a response here from Up Purple, as now OP has to pull all the way back, even though he's using that Piper to back away. But we don't really see many Pipers in Brawl Ball, so it's a little bit of a surprise. These comps aren't really what we're used to. We do see an 8-bit sometimes here and there, but again, like I mentioned before, not the comp we're not used to seeing, as they're now defensively trying to use that structure to back away. And even if they do get taken down, they can use that respawn immunity to make some kind of comeback. So Teeks takes down one, OP takes down another. So that's almost a team wipe, as it's only the 8-bit alive, as Detox takes down one just to try and calm down the pressure. But looking pretty good here for Galaxy Jupiter.
It really is, isn't it? They had the chance to go all-out offensive, and they just didn't quite push up hard enough, or they just didn't really take the chance when they could have had it. They could have pushed up maybe a few seconds earlier, and they just put themselves in a difficult position. Great defensive work from 8-bit, from Detox, in fact, playing as 8-bit. But yeah, OPE doing some great work as Piper there, landing a lot of shots, putting in a lot of damage, and using her super really, really well. And especially her super is destroying a lot of the map, so it's keeping it nice and open for them. But you know what? It's just difficult. Really open map, you're just subject to so much pain if you try and push forward with the ball. So having to be a lot more tactical, waiting until you get a drop so that you can then push. But then again, you've got so many defensive structures to get through, like you just saw OPE destroying some more of them. That is he assisting them by destroying them, or is he helping himself? I mean, it's kind of a bit of both, right, Lethal?
Yeah, I would say he's helping himself more than anything, just due to the fact that that's the whole point of Piper. You just got to try and abuse the range and projectiles as much as you can. But now it's going to overtime. Everything has been taken down and destroyed. It's all going to be about that range game. But with that 8-bit super, it's not going to help in any means necessary. As now Teeks is going to try and get that ball and push it away if he can, because he knows his entire team are getting out-damaged and needs to try and delay the inevitable before one of his teammates can actually respawn. But it's too little too late, as Tom does eventually score, and Up Purple actually make a good comeback there, considering the position they were in. But once it went into sudden death, they can abuse the fact that it was a massive open map. But we are going to go to Gem Grab to see exactly how Galaxy Jupiter can respond on this, because they've got a very decent comp again. But how Up Purple going to continue this series win, potentially?
So this is using your lanes in this kind of map choice as well, especially within Gem Grab, because you've got to get that left and right lane pushed up so that you can allow your central brawler to go up and collect these gems. Just like you've seen Detox right in the middle as 8-bits, pushing up and collecting those gems while his teammates have gone either side. Now, obviously, they both got dropped, but again, they're probably going to use the same tactic. As you can see, OPE collecting the gems in the middle as Gene, and you've got Zatax and you've got Teeks on the left-hand side, pushing up and trying to push back Tom as Carl. See, it's great. They're using the same tactic against each other, but they're on 12 gems. Here we go. Time for Galaxy Jupiter to retreat and manage to secure this 10-second countdown as they've got right now before Tom's really aggressively pushing up as Carl. He has to. He has no other choice. 4 seconds until this game is over for this gem grab, and Teeks manages to get the drop, and that is GG for Galaxy Jupiter, Lethal.
Yeah, great stuff from Teeks there. Just being cannon fodder just until we can at least secure the W in that last game. And it's great that we're seeing Carl as well. We've seen a lot more Carl in recent days due to the patch. The fact that his projectile speed has been increased by 15%, which is a huge margin. So we've seen a lot more of him, even when the comp doesn't really synchronize that well with some of the other ballers, but it still works like a treat individually in a lot of different occasions. So OPE does take down the side of Poco, but we do see a Pam from Detox. So quite, I wouldn't say strange, but we haven't really seen much of Pam as of late. So we're going to see if we can just push in, spray and pray. But even with all that HP, still gets cleaned up. Teeks actually takes down safe in the end, but also gets traded straight afterwards. So looking a lot better from Up Purple. It's OPE now just looking to try and back away as much as he can. As Teeks coming in with that Carl. But good stuff there from Zatax with that Rico, just inflicting so much damage here. You're just trying to force him to back away. But as I say that, he did get taken down by Safe with that Poco. A great healer nonetheless. And now Detox is looking to push around that left lane with the Pam.
Just to reiterate what you said, this is basically the Zatax show. He has decimated on that left-hand side, got so many drops, and dished out so much damage. He's basically pushed up and allowed the rest of his teammates to collect these 8 gems. Zatax is doing so well using Rico's ability to bounce his shots off of walls and off of boxes, and he's done such a great job. Yeah, he's gone down, but the amount of pain he's inflicting has done absolute wonders for Galaxy Jupiter as they try and collect these final 2 gems. One more gem will do it, and then they can go on the retreat. But Zatax is forcing them into the middle by having that right lane covered, but also pushing his shots into the central compartment. Lethal. I was about to call you Zatax.
I wish it was Zatax as skilled as him in that department, as it's still going to continue on. Tix takes on Detox. That's pretty much said and done here. If Up Purple did actually have like 8 gems, they could have continued holding that center half, because then they could also be on 10 gems. They can reset the countdown, and then it will be a stalemate situation once more to see if they can take down Galaxy Jupiter. But sadly for them, one of them did lose one of the gems at the time, had to back away, have that defensive stance, and then just follow through with that series. Great stuff from them. Some interesting comps as well. Ever since that patch, we've seen a little bit more variety with some of the brawlers being selected. So it's good to see, and you know, it's going to establish more as the weeks come by.
It's great to see the variety, and it's great to see some out-of-the-box thinking by some of our players as well. The brawlers being used, they're definitely trying to shake things up, which is awesome, but we can't wait to see what next week's leaderboard is going to be like as things are heating up. So don't forget, you can follow us, put !social in the chat, drop us a follow so that you can keep up to date with everything that's going on in the ESL Mobile Open throughout the weeks as well, because we have a new leader buckle up in the Clash of Clans leaderboard, so don't go anywhere. See you off the break. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching the ESL Mobile Open weekly recap for Europe, Middle East and North Africa. We really appreciate all of your support. So if you could just smash that subscribe button down below, it'll keep you up to date with everything going on week in, week out on the ESL Mobile Open.